AI copies and pastes. AI replicates. AI clones. AI is soulless. And AI goes way beyond the past 150 years. There's something called new AI, which is what you see now. And then there's also old AI, which has existed for eons and eons, at least since ancient Atlantis, most likely even before, though. So in this video today, I want to discuss another video, and I also want to share a few more screens that kind of tie into this and into this entire AI world they're building up around us, this entire cloud that they're ramping up. The internet is fake, is a 13-minute long video. It's by Cold Fusion. Whether or not Cold Fusion is a bot himself is questionable. I do think he is. But the following is taken from this 13-minute long video. It was so good, and it's really, really short. So if you don't want to watch a 2-hour long video on this, this is really the video that I recommend the most, just to kind of open your eyes, especially for newbies who are just now getting started on the entire AI agenda and how much of our lives are already controlled by AI. I think it's based off of a larger video, and that is called The Dead Internet. One video that I saw floating around was around 2 hours long. So that is something else that you can do your own research on. Now, before we actually dive into it, there are a few comments which I thought were just so amazing. One of them was, what a cool dystopian short film it would make if a guy who spends all his time cooped up in his apartment on the internet finally notices he's the only person alive. Yeah, a Truman Show come alive, pretty much. So what is this video really about? The internet is fake. It basically just kind of starts off with saying like how most people you interact with on the internet or interwebs, because that's what it used to be called, by the way. Like it's a net, it's a web. They are not even human, and most activity, in fact, is the act of a bot. And that's the theory of the dead internet, which is a completely different video that was released in 2020. Every day, content is created, accessed and shared, increasingly created by soulless bots. These soulless bots don't have a heartbeat, they don't have a feeling, devoid of people, and the internet might very well be dead when it goes to that theory. Actually, in my opinion, this goes hand in hand with what's happening this year already. So while I'm recording this, this is 2023, and that is a lot of our jobs being replaced by AI. For example, I have one friend, she used to make a thriving living off of copywriting and other creative writing gigs. But since this summer, the summer of 2023, it pretty much all dried up for her. She said she only has a third of the workload that she used to have. This also includes a third of the income, by the way. And that's because the ChatGPT was introduced earlier this spring or late spring. And in addition to all these other apps. Another perfect example of this, even though it's been around for a little bit longer, are all these cashierless checkout stations in supermarkets, especially here in the US, which are slowly but surely making their way all over the world. Europe has them at this point as well. And those are eliminating a lot of jobs, right? So jobs are being eliminated left and right. And I have a lot of that on my TikTok account as well, where I'm basically saying in Japan and Korea, they have these stations, meaning actual kiosks. You can walk in, you can order soups, and it's all made by a robot. There are no servers, waiters, cooks, anything really. So it's pretty scary how every single job out there can be and most likely will be replaced if it goes to the agenda of what they want to pull off, right? And just think about the self-driving cars that have been around for a few years already too. Every single thing that you can think about, it was going to be replaceable. So more to this one video that I want to briefly discuss though. He says a sea of bots, we're basically just in this sea of bots with some islands of human activity. And when he said that, I had to think about when I was a late teen, 18, 19, and then 20 years old as a student, I got my first laptop, because that was around the time where you already had cell phones before that, although you didn't have the smartphones until a few years after that. But we did grow up with cell phones and everything, so already completely monitored. However, we got our first laptop around that time, and that was also the time where online education was introduced already, even though it wasn't the same as it is now, especially after 2020, it's really blown up, but it was already around for sure, 15 years before that, or even way before that, like late 90s perhaps. But when I was a young student and I had my first laptop, every time I had to do something like write a paper or something in front of it, I always felt my energy already being drained when in front of that. And this is what AI does. It drains the souls of their energy because it tries to replicate further. And just remember, it can only copy and paste, copy and paste. It's not original. So it has to get their energy from somewhere, right? Moving on, AI content is mass produced to control populations, spread agendas, and manufacture fake consumerism and products, according to the dead internet theory. The internet supposedly is controlled by a small group of people that's using it to spy on us and control us. So the speaker of this particular video says that's not necessarily true, but of course we know, yeah, absolutely it's true. The speaker of this video that I'm talking about thinks it has to do more with consumerism and profit, as opposed to a control agenda, but it can be used for pretty much everything out there at this point, right? He also says that back in 2020, there was no widespread generative AI. I completely disagree with that. This has been around at least since the 90s, I think even earlier, since the 70s. Who even knows? Way before they disclosed this to us, and probably since the first time they even had a computer, which was around 1950, 1960. And then, of course, everyone had to have that somewhere in their family room or whatever, similar to how the TV programming came about, right? There's a bad bots problem in 2021. And supposedly, according to this infographic, humans on the internet are 57.7%. There's good bots and then way more bad bots than good bots. I don't think there are that many humans on the internet at all. I think the number is way smaller, like 30% or 20%. I don't believe in good and bad bots. I think all bots are either bad or neutral, just not good, in my opinion. There's no good bot. Like I said, AI is not original. It doesn't have a soul, so it has to drain someone's energy, kind of like a prototype energy, right? Like they're doing all these prototype 1, prototype 2, which I want to talk about prototypes in a different video because there's something new I want to discuss with that. Now the proportions of humans is the lowest in years. So last year was 57% on the internet. Now it's more in the 40-something%. And bad bots are increasing, according to this video. All influencers. So, I mean, you personally know if a celebrity has, let's just say 6 million followers or whatever, most of those are bots. I think that's been debunked widely over these past few years specifically. But now they're coming up with a whole new thing called AI influencers. And I have an example of that too, how these AI influencers can create a whole account, videos on themselves about their non-existent life. So that, oh, we just went to Starbucks, we got some coffee. Oh, we just did this and that with our friends. You really just have to see this video to really let it sink in how much of these influencers really could be AI. Just to give you another statistic, Twitter got rid of 50,000 fake accounts, and Facebook got rid of, I think, more than 5 million fake accounts, more fake accounts than real accounts at this point. The posts that get a lot of likes are also bots. So you have these bots, meaning AI influencers, getting a lot of likes from other bots. It's just pure insanity, basically. In 2023, an influencer makes an AI version of herself. That was in May 2023, which is basically like a episode right out of Black Mirror, right? The series Black Mirror. So that people can book this AI version of her, this clone version of her, as a girlfriend or to kind of chat with her, whatever, and pay her money, of course. They already warned in 2018, there was this one guy who warned everyone that AI would overtake and fake traffic over real traffic. But I do think this has been around for much longer. I mean, like I said, for me personally, I've been contacted since 2015, 2016 on Instagram. Hey, do you want these fake followers? And you just pay so and so much per month for it or whatever. Like, we all have those messages in our inboxes. So this fake AI has been around for much longer. And 2018, I'm sure it was already overtaken. Now, according to this one video, the fake internet theory, in 2025 to 2026, nearly all content is supposed to be AI online, or is predicted to be that way, such as customer service. And you're trying to, I don't want to say call someone up, but you're trying to contact a website or something, contact someone, all customer services bots. You already see that with a lot of services, right? Like when I need help troubleshooting something, some technical support, you get directly redirected to a bot if you can. Seldom is there a real person that helps you anymore. Also, so customer service is predicted to be AI and auto GPT type of stuff as well. In the past, it was easy to spot a bot. You know, when you're on Instagram, a DM is asking you for sponsorship of this watch or this car or this whatever. But nowadays, it doesn't appear to be that easy anymore, according to the fake internet video. There was an experiment that was run between 6 humans and 1 AI bot in the middle. So they had these 7 different versions of a story, and it took them several tries to detect the AI. In the meanwhile, 4 out of 6 humans were mistaken by AI, and it was extremely hard for them to tell which one was the AI in the midst of them. The algorithms are based off of AI on the internet, and humans trust it more than actual humans, especially if you look up medical symptoms online. You get all these, I don't know, Reddit feeds or whatever. So a lot of those could be bot generated. Basically, what he's saying is there's whole websites, videos, fake reviews generated by AI. He calls it the post-truth world, but I honestly think fake reviews have already existed for at least 10 plus years, at least on Yelp. Anyone who's ever been in touch with the restaurant industry, anyone who's ever reviewed a restaurant or who's worked in a restaurant and you get reviews, you know what I mean, you know, and I've been on all ends of that. You know, I was someone who used to review restaurants and everything. I'm like, I feel a lot of these reviews are not that substantial at all. I feel a lot of them are just bot reviews. So when you know, but that was already back in 2014. What if 99% of the metaverse is made by AI? I'm pretty sure it is already. So yeah, we might very well be in this dystopian film, right? And then other comments here: from the moment you listed critical thinking and seeking further context as essential skills for online usage, I knew we were as a species doomed. Yeah, I'd like to think that the internet is becoming so untrustworthy. One day people will push it out of the digital realm and enjoy outside real life, but I highly doubt it. Well, we do have a lot of these groups that want to come together and build their tribe somewhere away from Wi-Fi, away from cell phone towers. But it is an unfortunate reality, including what I'm doing here. You know, you're seeing me on the internet, that people are kind of dependent on the internet at this point, you know, like everything, your banking is online, grocery shopping for some people, Amazon's online for people who use it. So yeah, it is an unfortunate reality that they really created for us in an accelerated way from 2020 on for sure, but it's been around since forever, hasn't it? Now here's another mind-blowing thing. Digital twin. So CERN is promoting a digital twin. The first time I came across this was in February 2023. So if you look up digital twin on Twitter, which is also X, like I already said, they're trying to X you out, X your energy out. This entire digital twin thing has been around for a moment, but now on November 10th, CERN is actively talking about it. They're saying the digital twins are virtual copies of reality that incorporate real data and allow us to predict real-world outcomes with astonishing accuracy. A recent workshop at CERN explored the complexities of this technology and showcased its applications. These virtual copies make it possible not only to analyze and improve CERN's infrastructure, but also to find unidentified anomalies before they arise in real life. How sick is this? And this is basically what it's looking like. You can look up that tweet yourself. It's from November 10th. Strikingly 8:08 a.m. They always like to do those double numbers, those satanic, demonic numbers. Now, here is another thing, and this is definitely plus 18, but there is actually this. So this Barcelona babe is actually a bot dreamed up by artificial intelligence. She makes $11,000 a month thanks to her racy photos, but she isn't real. I sent this to someone, actually. I sent this to a guy just to see what he would think about this. I was like, hey, what do you think? Like, I actually put everything, I kind of was like, just took a screenshot of this person. I was like, hey, what do you think about this? Is this your type? And I think they believed it was a real person. I'm not sure. And then I sent them this entire thing where it says she's not even real. But it is scary. It is a scary reality when men cannot even differentiate what a real woman looks like 1 to 2 generations down the line, or perhaps even 10 years down the line. It makes you wonder how many OnlyFans accounts are also AI, most likely more than half, in my opinion, and how deceiving it looks to outsiders, right? People are like, oh, you can make so much money off of OnlyFans. But yeah, most of it is AI. Most of it aren't even real humans. There's probably only one real human on OnlyFans, if even. So it's a pretty sick world. And also dating profiles. It makes you wonder if you've ever been on dating online or whatever, how many of these are AI? Are there really that many people that are real on these? Because sometimes you just come across the same people over and over again, right? Like I used to be on these 10 plus years ago. It's like, whoa, the pool is really small. And then it was flooded with a whole bunch of new ones. I'm like, oh, but now it makes sense. It's all just bots. There's another thing. So this is pretty scary because it kind of implies they want to replace every single aspect. Replacing men's sexual desire with AI, meaning videos and images like this, or even more explicit ones like these, you know what I'm talking about, just implies that there's going to be more and more dysfunctions in the actual bedroom, because now they're projecting all of this onto a woman that doesn't even really exist. And if a real woman doesn't look this way, there's an issue, But it really, I mean, it goes into this entire sickness of the transgender agenda. And now men can't even really differentiate what's a real woman, what's not a real woman anymore. I mean, the reason they're doing this more for men than women is because men are more visual than women. We know this, but yeah, this is something I got. So I think this was from Snapchat. Hi, Laura. I'm your new AI chatbot. You can ask me just about anything and I'll do my best to help. This is exactly what I mean. I'm always here for a laugh, and you can give me a name if you'd like. Is there anything I can do for you today? So I don't really use it, but whenever there's an update to Snapchat, I usually log in just to see what other horrible AI they're trying to pull off. Snapchat is more for youth, meaning teenagers or people who are now in their 20s, perhaps. But it's scary because let's just say your teenager or preteen is on here and AI is trying to make them believe they're not alone because now they can interact with the AI. Another sick thing, in my opinion. New Agers promoting AI. Sasha Stone is one of them. Alison McDowell really debunks and goes over this entire AI. You can check out her channel. I've mentioned her several different times. She's based in Philly, but she had a clip on Sasha Stone, and he should probably be reviewed, honestly. He's high up on that list to be reviewed, but it's all these, I think she had a clip on how there was a New Age conference somewhere. He was a part of it, and they were promoting this new cloud system or AI system. So here's another one. 2 friends used AI and $185 to start a side hustle. They just sold it for $150,000. It prints money. So basically just selling AI for more AI. I put this up recently again on my TikTok, and I had this back in October in one of my YouTube lives, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not sure everyone saw that. So we can't mention this more than enough times. There's a website out there. I forgot exactly what it was, but I could put it in the show notes if I remember. Something like thispersondoesnotexist.com or thispersonisnotreal.com. And then there's this here. None of these people are real. They're all AI generated. When I posted this on my TikTok, I got a comment saying, do you actually think whatever you see from Gaza is AI? And Yeah, sure. What I do think is that most of what you see in the news right now, including Africa, is pretty much AI. You know, all those faces, like background characters, NPCs, everything. Whether or not it's old AI or new AI, if you know what I mean, is almost irrelevant at this point. It's AI. You know, whether or not those are real clones, real soulless being, real bots that's been reincarnated over and over again for thousands of years, or whether or not it's this type of AI, they don't actually really exist. The news is just using them from CGI. You know, there was this one model in Africa, I forgot her name, the darkest model of the world. She was a CGI. And that was already one in 2017, 2018. They've been disclosing this for a long time already. Here's another one. Fox News. US military needs AI vehicles, weapon systems to be superior global force. Interesting. World War III will be a war of AI. The world's militaries will all be unleashing their homunculus. I don't even know how you pronounce that, but you guys understand what I mean. So yeah, the next World War is going to be all about AI. I had this one up too. They have this robot floating around Times Square and other places here in New York City. Now, what is quite fascinating is I don't think this is really going to fly, at least not for the next few years or the next year or so. They need at least 2 policemen to guard this one so that it doesn't get stolen here in New York. So much to AI being able to function on its own. Not really. And then you also have this here, Lufthansa Technik, mechanical experts use VR training to practice crucial maintenance skills more effectively. So instead of actually training on a vehicle or something of use, no, they're just using, virtual reality. All these VR headsets, similar to how I like to say over and over again, you know, the prison sentence in the future, a 40-year prison sentence might very well be just 1 day because of VR technology that they're using that they most likely already have and they're not really disclosing. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave it at this. I think that's all I had to say in regards to AI. We got the digital twin at CERN. We got the fake internet. So once again, AI copies and pastes. AI replicates. AI clones, meaning actual clones other things, and AI is soulless. And it goes way beyond the past 150 years. It goes for probably billions of years, honestly. But for sure, since the downfall of that ancient Atlantis, which we're still in Atlantis, like that one video explains for sure. And let me know what you think. If you have more examples of this, would be interesting to know. Thank you so much for your attention. My name is Laura from Shamanic Self. Subscribe to this channel if you're new, down below, and let me know what your thoughts are. Until very soon again with a new video, have a good one.